The story begins with German troops holding a father and his little girl at gunpoint. The soldiers are convinced that the two of them are undercover Soviet agents. However, the father insists that they are just regular people and definitely not spies. He keeps pleading with the soldiers to let them go, explaining that they haven't done anything wrong. Despite his cries, the German leader doesn't believe a word and tells his men to prepare for a firing squad. Just as they are about to pull the trigger, the soldiers are suddenly picked off by a shooter from far away. It turns out the person who saved them is a legendary Soviet marksman known as the Red Ghost. Because he is so dangerous and efficient, he earned that scary nickname. The father is stunned to be standing right in front of the hero that everyone in the country talks about. He quickly thanks the marksman for saving their lives. This is our introduction to the Red Ghost. The scene moves to a small group of Russian soldiers who are trying to survive. They are currently looking for a place to hide and rest after narrowly escaping a big battle in the city. Before long, their leader, a captain named Moryakov, finds a man sleeping under a tree. Realizing the man is also a local, the captain invites him to join their group. Together, they keep walking in search of a safe shelter. As the sun goes down, they decide to spend the night inside an old, empty building. One of the soldiers is in terrible shape after being hit by a blast. A few hours later, the soldier passes away because his body can't take the pain anymore. His wife, Vera, who is also a soldier, can only weep as she watches him die. The next day, a high-ranking German patrol is moving through the woods. They soon find the bodies of their own men who were taken out by the Red Ghost. Their officer realizes immediately who was responsible. He explains to his squad, including a soldier in a dark uniform named Braun, just how terrifying the Red Ghost really is. According to their reports, this one man has already taken down 100 soldiers by himself. Hearing this, Braun thinks it's all a lie, believing it's impossible for one person to be that strong. Regardless, the officer orders Braun to hunt down the Red Ghost with the help of a few other men. Back with Captain Moryakov, his group has found a small village nearby. He leads his people there, but when they enter, they see the place is a ghost town. All the residents were killed by enemy troops earlier. One of the soldiers finds a table covered in food and is about to eat it. Luckily, a friend stops him, warning that the food was likely poisoned by the enemy as a trap. Since they are starving, they start getting grumpy and even get into a small fight with each other. In a different room, Vera, the woman who lost her husband, starts running a very high fever. When the others check on her, they discover that she is actually pregnant. Outside, the captain and his men pay their respects to the villagers who were killed. At the same time, Braun and his special unit are getting closer as they search for the Red Ghost. One of Braun's men suggests they take a break at the same village they destroyed before. Braun agrees, and they head that way. Back at the village, the Russian soldiers are planning to look for some of their missing friends. Since Vera is pregnant, they tell her to stay hidden and wait for them to come back. Right after the men leave, Braun and his squad arrive at the house where Vera is hiding. She panics and quickly climbs inside a wooden chest to hide. The captain's group, who haven't walked very far, realize the enemy has entered the village. They are terrified for Vera's safety. However, rushing in would be suicide because they have almost no bullets, while the Germans are heavily armed. The captain decides to stay back and watch, hoping the enemy will just leave. Inside the house, Braun's men start looking around. His assistant Otto warns the soldiers not to touch the food, admitting he poisoned it earlier to catch Russians. Meanwhile, Vera is still in the chest, hearing every word they say about their cruel actions. Eventually, she gets so scared she can't hold it anymore, and the noise alerts the soldiers to her hiding spot. She is pulled out and captured. Braun starts questioning her, and she pretends to be a local girl who lived there. However, Otto notices she isn't in the family photos on the wall. It's obvious she is lying. Otto eventually finds her army jacket and ID. Knowing she is a soldier, Braun coldly tells Otto to take her outside and execute her. From their hiding spot, the captain and his men see Vera being led out to her death. Without waiting any longer, the captain tells his men to attack the guards while he provides cover. One by one, the German guards are taken out quietly. Vera is just seconds away from being shot when gunfire erupts, killing her executioners instantly. The shots came from the Red Ghost. Seeing their chance, the captain's group jumps into the fight to help him. A massive battle breaks out, allowing Vera to run and find a safe spot. During the chaos, Braun, who was getting ready for a bath, gets stuck in the bathroom. With no way to get out, he hides and prays his men win. Meanwhile, Otto gets shot in the leg and hits his head. He decides to stay on the ground and pretend to be dead. By now, the only Germans left are Braun and the dead Otto. Braun is totally alone, without any clothes or weapons. He finds a woman's dress, puts it on, and sneaks out the back to escape. The captain's team realizes they've won and enters the house. They find the Red Ghost on the floor, passed out from pure exhaustion. They quickly bring him inside to treat him. While waiting for him to wake up, the soldiers celebrate their win and eat the food the Germans brought. Suddenly, Vera starts feeling sharp pains. It's time for the baby to be born. The men do their best to help her through it. With a lot of bravery, they successfully deliver the baby. Vera is overwhelmed with joy for her child, but sad that her husband isn't there. The captain promises they will all help raise the baby as their own. Somewhere else, a German officer's car gets stuck in the snow. They see someone walking toward them in a dress. It's Braun. Now, Braun truly believes the Red Ghost is a monster. The officer decides to launch a full attack on the village, hoping the ghost is still there. Back at the house, the Red Ghost wakes up and grabs his gun. He can sense the enemy is coming back. The captain and his men get ready for one last fight. Soon, the German army arrives, and Braun is back in his uniform. A huge battle starts with explosions everywhere. Vera hides and tries to keep her baby quiet. The Red Ghost keeps picking off soldiers one by one. Braun asks his officer for permission to go find the ghost himself, feeling confident he can win. The officer lets him go. Shortly after, a grenade lands near the officer, and the Red Ghost appears to finish him off. Braun takes command and tells his men to keep pushing. At first, the Russians have the lead, but they eventually run out of bullets. One by one, they are killed, including the captain. Only Vera and one other survivor remain inside. Outside, the Red Ghost keeps fighting until only Braun is left. The ghost challenges Braun to a fair fight. They have a brutal duel, and in the end, the Red Ghost defeats Braun. As the ghost walks toward the house to help Vera, he is suddenly shot. It was Otto who was still faking his death the whole time. Otto is thrilled, thinking he killed the legend. But then, another shot hits Otto from behind, killing him instantly. It was Prostachok, one of the captain's men who survived. He checks on Vera and the baby, and the three of them leave before more enemies show up. 1 week later, more German troops are attacking another town. They are still hunting the Red Ghost, who they hear is still alive. They capture the same man from the very beginning of the story and ask him where the ghost is. He says he knows nothing. As they prepare to kill him, shots ring out and the soldiers fall. A figure appears, and the villagers think it's the Red Ghost. But it's actually Prostachok. He has taken over the role of the fallen hero. He vows to take down 1,000 enemies himself. From that day on, he is known as the Black Ghost.